How many of you have been to the Lincoln Memorial? Depending upon where you live or go to school, I suspect quite a few of you have, and others I hope will be able to do so in the future. Would you come with me to the Lincoln Memorial? If you do, the Park Service visitors will tell us it's the second most visited place in Washington, second only to the Vietnam Memorial. As you walk up the steps, what you will see first is the tall Daniel Chester French statue of Lincoln, 29 feet high. As you walk inside what I call that temple space, if you turn to the left, carved on one panel is the Gettysburg Address. If you turn to the right, carved on 3 panels in Indiana limestone, is the second inaugural address. Take a moment in your classroom to respond to this question. What did you feel, or what did you experience when you were there, maybe for the first time? I've asked that question all over the United States. And I've had people respond with words such as awe, young people often say awesome, or reverent or sacred. Some people, some older people, will sometimes answer that question with tears in their eyes. Others will describe how in this noisy city, when they suddenly got to the top of the Lincoln Memorial, everyone became quiet. Well, let's take that word awe. I think a lot of people would respond with that response. To see the Lincoln Memorial fills one with a sense of awe. But the point I want to make today in your classroom is that awe is not the same thing as understanding. When I was a college student, I sang in the a cappella choir at UCLA. And in our junior year, we sang Bach's St. John's Passion. It was an awesome experience. I was moved to tears. When it was over, our director, Roger Wagner, said, "Now next year we're going to do something more difficult, Beethoven's Missa Solemnis." Well, in the next week I thought to myself, I enjoy this music, but I don't really understand it. Today we're going to take an adventure of understanding. I want to help us understand Abraham Lincoln, and through Lincoln's words, help us understand the Civil War. Everyone by now should have a text of the second inaugural address. I want us to take this text in our hand, and through these 701 words, together we're going to discover something about Lincoln, and through Lincoln we're going to discover something about the Civil War. You remember that Lincoln was born in 1809 in Kentucky, moved with his family in 1816 to Indiana, and then as a 21-year-old moved to Illinois in 1830. He separated from his family and lived in the tiny village of New Salem. He was elected to the Illinois State Legislature, served 1 term in Congress, and then in 1860 was elected the first Republican to be President of the United States. Did you know that Lincoln had only 1 year of formal education? And yet he has become what many of us would want to say is our greatest president. And what I would like to say today is he's our most eloquent president. Lots of people look at the Lincoln Memorial at the Gettysburg Address. It is a wonderful address. But did you know that Lincoln really thought his second inaugural was what he called his best effort, his greatest speech? So together we're going to try to discover in these 700 words something of Abraham Lincoln, and from Lincoln something about the meaning of the Civil War.